Right, so today I am making some quinoa patties. I know I'm saying it wrong, but this is Christine Crowle here, and I say it like I see it. Okay, so quinoa is what the word is to be used, and today I'm going to be making some quinoa burgers, patties, should I say. So I've got a packet of quinoa here. This is 500 grams, for example. So as you can see here, I've also got 3 slices of bread, which I'm going to make into my own breadcrumbs, because I like to buy the bread and then I can make it rather than the panko breadcrumbs, for example. I've also got some eggs here, which is 3 eggs, which I'm going to help that to bind, along with the beans as well, which this is the cannelli beans as well, a can of this as well. I'm going to rinse and then I'm going to mash that as well with the carrot. I've got 1 carrot here as well. And I've also got 3 garlic cloves here as well, as you can see. And I've got an onion, which I'm going to put it into small cubes, finely chopped. And I've also got sour cream here as well. This is really just as an additional touch to go with the pate, to go with the burgers, sorry, so that it's not, you could do it in a burger bun, so it's not as dry as you would possibly think, even though it's not going to be dry, but sometimes some people like to have some sort of juiciness to it. I've also got the scallions here, which is the spring onions as well, that you can see here fresh. And I will tell you about the cost, because this is about buying products for under $10, for example. Now this cost me 9.96 euros because I do live in Cyprus, for example, but that's just under $10, for example. And I'll give you the price. For example, the quinoa cost €4.95. Then the carrot, 1 carrot costs 16 pence. Then the cannelli beans cost 99p, for example, or should I say cents? Because you know I'm from the UK, so I'm going to keep changing from cents to pence, for example. But you know what I mean. The scallion cost 10 cents, for example, and the eggs, the 3 eggs was 18 cents for 3 eggs, and the garlic was 78 cents. And then the topping, which is the sour cream that I showed you earlier, that is, for example, €1.49, for example. And then I'm also adding the buns, the burger buns, for example, that is for 6, that cost €1, for example. So that in total came to €9.96. So now what the next step is I'm going to start chopping. So the next video will be me chopping the items that I've brought, but this is about shopping for a family or for yourself, for example, and it's keeping everything under $10, but this is nutritional. It's not unhealthy, it is nutritional. It will help your immune system. It will also give you health and vitality and help with creativity and your production in your business. And because I'm a CEO, I'm saying that this is CEO food, but this is for everybody, okay? I'm also a mum as well, a very busy mum. So this can also be for busy mums and dads, for example. This should only really take probably about 30 minutes to prep, and then another 30 minutes to, well, about 15 minutes to cook. So about 45 minutes. We want to keep things under 1 hour. but we also want to eat healthy. We want to really focus on this for 2025, that we're keeping ourselves healthy so that we can live as long as possible and save that money and use that money that you're saving for a rainy day or for something else that you want to spend your money on. We can eat healthily without, you know, getting takeaway foods, because a lot of us are starting to do that. And really what we want to do, especially with the inflation rates and things going up price wise, let's look at how we can eat healthily and save money at the same time. It's a win-win situation, and I will see you next on the video when I'm preparing this meal. So look forward to sharing the quinoa burgers with you. Thank you. Bye. Right, so I've put all the mixtures together. I've put the onions, the scallions, seasoning, the cannelli beans, the quinoa. As you can see, there's this, it's cooling down. This is one I prepared earlier. So what we have to do is mix it together so that it forms a patty, and then once I shape them into a patty, I've then got to put it into the fridge for about an hour, for example, and then, you know, so that it really binds together, and then I'll be able to cook it, saute it in the oven, for example. So I'm just going to make one patty here, just so that you can see, and then I will continue the filming. So just making the shape of a patty here so that you can see. Perfect shape. Perfect shape. 1 second. So as I am doing this, I am now putting this into baking tray that is wrapped in greaseproof paper, and then I will put this in the oven once these patties have set, the burgers have set, and then I will come back and I will fry them in the, saute them in the oven, for example. But I just wanted you to see the consistency of the quinoa and the burger patty, so that you can see it live in action. If you've got gloves, put gloves on, because it can be a bit messy sometimes. And I'm just placing it here into the baking tray for you to see. See the baking tray there? Excellent. And as you can see, the quinoa that I did earlier is still cooling down, but I do have the quinoa that I prepared earlier, and I'm making them into burger shapes. And then I'm going to put it in the fridge to set for an hour, for example. You can do them whatever size you want to, and this is a healthy meal, meat-free day for your friends, family, for you. Perfect for busy CEOs that want to eat healthy, to help with productivity, for example. But I can't wait to show you the finished touch. So I'll be back in 1 hour. Right, so I've made them into patties. The quinoa burgers are now as burger patties. I've mixed them together. I used 2 eggs and not 3 eggs because of the size of the eggs were large, so I didn't want to make it too wet, for example. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it sit in the fridge for 1 hour, and then I'm going to saute it, and then it should be ready to be eaten, and it will be delicious. So I can't wait to show you the finished result. So I will see you in 1 hour. Right, so the patties have now been in the fridge now for 1 hour just to help it set. And this is the quinoa burgers, veggie burgers that is being made. So now I'm going to fry them, saute them in a shallow oil frying pan, for example, and I'm using olive oil. So I'm just going to add the burgers to the frying pan, and I'm just going over there right now so that you can see, and I'm just going to use the items there. This may take some time, starting to sizzle. Yes. Excellent. They're all keeping together. Sizzling. Looks lovely. So whilst I wait for this to cook, this will probably take about 10-15 minutes. I will turn it over once it is brown, and I will turn it over onto the other side so that you can then see the crispiness texture that will come from the quinoa, and it will be delicious. So I will see you in 5 minutes. So the quinoa is cooking perfectly. This is, and the smell is just delicious. I can't wait to try this. It's browned on one side. I've turned it over and I'm just letting it brown again on the other side. This is just delicious. I haven't even tasted this one yet, but it just looks amazing. Just look at that crispy brown burger. Absolutely delicious. Shallow fried in olive oil. And I've managed to make 12 burgers all together from what I've made earlier. So you'll be able to see from what I've got here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but there is another 6 in the fridge, which I'm not going to show you all of it, but I'm going to show you what I've done currently at the moment. So you'll get to see that you can actually feed a family of, if each person has 2 burgers each, I think 1 is enough for me, but obviously when you've got growing children, they want more than 1. So, you know, that is a good section there. You're looking at, you can feed between 5 to 6 people on a budget of $10. Isn't that amazing? With the buns, as well as I've got here the onions. You can use red onions as well as the tomatoes. And then I'm just putting this down here so that you can see it better. So once the patties, I'm going to put it on the bun here. I'm going to make the burger. You can also, there's lemon. You can cut it in half and you can squeeze over the actual patty itself. It is delicious. I will highly recommend that you give it a try. So I'm just going to grab one of the patties now from the frying pan, and I'm going to bring the frying pan to you so that you can see what I'm showing you here in greater detail. So these should be cooked now. Perfect. They've got a nice crispiness to them, as you can see here. And the smell. is just beautiful. Just look at that. So I'm just going to grab this one here in the middle, and I'm just going to put it there, and I'm just going to put this to one side, because what I want to do is I'm going to place this on the plate here for you to see. Just looks delicious. This is just perfect meal if you're having a meat-free day. Absolutely perfect for the family or for yourself. And the good thing is with this is you can actually freeze them. They can be frozen so that you can pull them out whenever you choose. So you can freeze them for up to 3 months in the freezer, for example. So you can cook it as a batch and put them in the freezer. So if you are solo, for example, have 2 at a time, and then once a week you pull out the rest of your burgers, for example, your veggie burgers. So just look at this, it's just absolutely delicious. I just want you to see the beauty of this. It's just amazing. So I'm just going to get the patty here, for example, and the sour cream, you can use sour cream, you can use mayonnaise, it's up to you what you decide to use, for example, and you get to choose what toppings that you want. For example, red onion is very good as well, but I'm just doing this. For example, you can use, like I said, the sour cream could go on top here, for example, or you could use tzatziki, for example, and just look at that, it's just amazing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pat that down, and I'm going to cut this in half so that you can see what it looks like inside. Just look at that. Absolutely delicious. Let's look at the burger. You can put cheese with that. You can have melted cheese if you choose to. But I just think that this is just enough as it is. And it is amazing. I'll cut one of the patties so that you can see as well, for example. So, because not everyone likes bread, so maybe you just want it by itself. But just look at that. Just look at that. Absolutely delicious. So, this is your quinoa burger. Bon appetit. Thank you. This is delicious. Do try it. Like and subscribe, comment, give this a go. I will put the recipe in the description, and I would love for you to tell me what you think of the quinoa veggie burger patties, because this is delicious.